Stu J, thanks for the follow. But before I read everything, I'm gonna tell you guys, very plain and simple, I think World's Edge is a better ranked / competitive map. I think King's Canyon is a better pub stomping map. Like, I think a lot of people are nostalgic about King's Canyon already, but I think a lot of people forget about the bad shit in King's Canyon. Like, one complaint I don't see about this map. You gotta think about a lot of the things that you see at, like, across a lot of, like, if you go across a lot of, like, social medias and whatnot, you gotta think about how many things you're seeing people complain about. One thing everyone and their mothers complain about in King's Canyon was third parties. You don't see people complain about third parties that much in this map, and the reason is because this map is 1.5 times the size of King's Canyon, and that's a big deal because King's Canyon was not made for 20 teams. It wasn't. That map is so claustrophobic and small, and it's just no. King's Canyon was a lot more fun for pubbing and doing solos and events and stuff like that. I agree. I definitely agree with that. But when it comes to actually like ranked and competitive, that map did not feel good competitively. And I'm speaking from a competitive standpoint. I played in Poland. That shit felt terrible in Poland. It felt awful, man. You can't take any early fights because everyone and their mothers will third party you from halfway across the map. Not like, I don't mean like by snipers by any means. I mean like they'll hear your shots and they'll run after you. But yeah, I do think it's a better pub stomping map though. Like playing solos, solo pubs, all that was a lot more fun on King's Canyon. I will concede that for sure. But I'm telling you right now, this map feels way, for having played tournaments, official tournaments in both this map and last map, this map feels way better competitively. And I think most competitors will agree with me on that. This map's not perfect. It absolutely has its issues, which I'm hoping get corrected in Season 4. But for the most part, this map, I think, is overall a step in the right direction. And I agree, I wouldn't want new maps every single season. I think that sets an unrealistic expectation, and I think that also is very difficult to play around. Because King's Canyon, also, much like this map, King's Canyon is constantly, like, we constantly were finding new things every fucking day. And that's one thing I like really like about Apex's map design is because like in tandem with the movement, there's always new things to explore. Almost, people find new shit every day. Yeah, playing ranked on Canyon, it's not would be awful. It was awful, Nora. Every day on ranked, people would be like, "Oh, can't have fun in this game. Everyone just third parties because everybody like the map was so small. Everybody heard you. You try to fight, everybody came to the party." Now, yes, that happens in this map too. That's a BR tradition. That's how you play BRs. Wait, someone just shot at that? That wasn't me.
There.
You can fight even competitively, comfortably early game on this map if you know the team's around
I'm
you.
hiding close.
Here's the thing about people that criticize Apex, and I don't mean that in a bad way by any means either. But like, I've noticed that there's two boats that when people complain about Apex, there's two ways they complain about it. They either complain about it from I have 3.
I gotta take some.
They either complain about it from a competitive standpoint, or I've noticed a lot of them in the background to complain about it from a pub standpoint. There's a lot of people that complain about SBMM, and most of the people that are complaining about SBMM, and I'm not slighting them in that at all, I think they have very valid arguments, are usually people that want to play the game solo, and I think that's so fair. That's an absolutely fair way to feel about the game.
We have to go very
There is no
far
way
in
to
the
play this
opposite
game by
direction as
yourself
last
for
game.
the average person. Hell, even sometimes even for pros and streamers. I think that needs to change by way of a solo queue, or by way of like making pubs be solos and duos queue together and only trios queue together. Because I'll be honest, yeah, not being able to play this game solo when you have like no friends on, or if you don't have any friends that play the game, sucks. I think that's the biggest core root argument of SBMM is there's no way to play the game solo. So I'm hoping that definitely gets addressed somehow. Exactly, like what Yaman Dota says is also true. Like, love or hate SBMM, it's required. New players don't want to get stomped in this game, man. Little Timmy that just got his first gaming computer or Xbox or PlayStation that's playing this game right now, today. That's excited. He can finally play Apex Legends. He's been watching streams of it all day, YouTube content on it all day. My man finally installs the game and then gets fucking slapped by every professional in the game. Do you think that's gonna feel good for little
No,
Timmy?
he's holding.
Probably not. Little Timmy's not gonna want to play the game anymore, man.
Can you drop all the way down? No.
Yes, I can.
SPMM is important. It just needs to
sending
be
it for
tuned.
me,
The
though.
current iteration of it feels really
Drop.
because I believe that, like, I don't think you should cater to just casuals. I don't think you should cater to just pros and streamers. I think there needs to be a middle ground between the two. Because a lot of the casual scene depends on the pros and the streamers creating content for the game, being interested in the game, influencing people to play the game, basically. At the same time, if they're unhappy and think the game is shit, your player base is going to suffer from that. So I was fending off a lot of really there's a lot of really stupid arguments that a lot of people make about the game that just aren't true. A lot of people say the devs don't care about the game and all that. That's not true. If any of the people that said that actually talked to the devs, these motherfuckers are so passionate about this game. They put so much fucking work into this game, and they literally work so many hours to make it work. It's just the notion that the devs don't care about the game is so fucking false. They want the game to succeed more than anyone. They've actually been working on this for so long. Anyways, I was saying all of this in Lou's stream because I was seeing a lot of stupid, ignorant arguments. Like, I'm all for differing and dissenting opinions. I'm not for stupid opinions. Like, if you don't do any research, if you just take whatever someone says and you're like, that's my opinion, this game sucks, that thing sucks, whatever. I don't like that. I think that's so stupid. Do your research before you complain about anything. Because otherwise, if you're wrong, if you don't do any research, there's a high chance you're gonna look really stupid. Anyways, there were people in Lou's stream that were complaining about the game. And I was merely telling them they're basically wrong, all this, that. This one guy called me a yes man and talking about how I just agree with everything that the devs do. And then I simply asked him, because somebody posed the issue that said the pros feel suffocated in this game. And me being a pro that's playing this game, I was like, oh, what do you mean by that? Because I don't know of many pros that feel suffocated. Fast forward a couple messages back and forth, he says, you're just a yes man that agrees with everything the devs do. And I said, okay, you posed the thing that the notion that the pros feel suffocated. I said, why is it that you feel the pros feel suffocated? What is your reasoning for that statement? Before I say what he's about to say, I said he called me a yes man. Rather than giving me his opinion on why pros are suffocated, he deadass, I shit you not, he said, just look up Mendo's YouTube videos. And I'm just like, you're calling me a yes man, but you're taking the word of one content creator, and that's your opinion on the game. But I'm the yes man. I'm just like, bro, like, yikes. Saucy, thank you for the 100 bits, man. I appreciate that. Like, don't get me wrong, no disrespect to Mendo at all, by any means, but it's just like, dude, like, I just hate when people take someone else's opinion and form that as their own. Like, use your own mind. It's a powerful device.
Crazy how no one contests here.
That just annoys
okay,
me
they
when people
contested
just
the
take
next
someone
building.
else's like words, opinions, and thought out arguments, and they just make
I'm
it
just
their
saying,
own
like, in, like,
without any
fucking
thought
NA,
to it.
everyone
Man.
would just land here.
Yeah.
Most pros do not feel suffocated by
And
this
then he
game.
was like, no one.
We all know the game's not perfect. Most of us still feel that this game has a really good fucking future, and that's why we're still playing it. Stale metas and stuff like that definitely hurt. The game's not in the greatest place, but every game suffers. I think it's unrealistic to expect a fully fledged fucking competitive esports system when most esports or most BRs have struggled with it and or gotten it out at a late time. Everybody wants this like now shit. Trust me, I would love to have customs right now. I would absolutely love it. I would love to have massive prize pools right now. Just as much as everybody else would. But fact of the matter is this shit ain't done overnight. This isn't the only game to take its time with that shit. Fortnite took a year and a half to even start making any tournaments. This game is already dished out over probably close to 2 million in prize pool, and the customs haven't even been released. Like, this game's already done so much more than most games, yet people still are unhappy with that. Not saying you should settle for whatever you have. You know, if you're unhappy with something, absolutely make your point about it. Don't sound whiny as fuck about it. There's so much more you can do. But yeah, no, that's the thing. This game is not really that old in the grand scheme of things. And the devs have realistically,
They're inside your building.
they have actually delivered on most of what everybody wanted. The game came out, people complained about no content. They openly said they weren't ready to do content. They didn't have that shit ready. If they cared, they'll be fixing all the error coding, game freezing. You're right. But they are working on that, literally. Like, I see them all over Twitter when pros are complaining for them to send, for people to send them feedback or send them what happened, exactly what happened. Like, PC games are robust.
Yeah,
as
I
fuck.
wish.
A lot of their problems, a lot of the crashing problems aren't even on their end, Eddie Gamer. A lot of them are on NVIDIA and AMD's end, and things not working properly with certain, like, builds of computers.
PK.
Like, they literally had to invite AMD and NVIDIA to their offices to figure out what's wrong with why the game's not working with their peripherals. Like, you can't, none of these changes happen overnight, man. Coding is not easy. Anyone that's taken any lessons in coding knows that shit is fucking hard. And adding new content, which is what everybody wants. Adding new content means you're going to add crashes, you're going to add bugs by nature. You cannot just fart out content and not break the game at the same time. That doesn't happen. That does not happen in coding.
Almost here.
If people want new content, they're gonna have to brave crashes and bugs. That shit happens. Bro, Wingman hip fire does not
Hodsick
work.
Wingman.
Make that shit work. Wingman, I don't.
That was.
Yeah, I think SBMM and solos would be a good pick. I think circles need to be reworked completely.
Yeah, that guy, he was using a PK and then he weapon swapped.
I don't think the pin drop circle, the way it
secondary
is now competitively, and what I mean by that, because a lot of people usually ask me, what do you mean by pin drop circle? I mean that the very last circle before the game, or before the circle completely collapses, is like a small last thin pin. A lot of people refer to that as the pin drop. I don't think that's a good circle. I don't think that works for this game that well. Like, sure, it's chaotic and who the fuck knows who's gonna win. At the end of the day, I think it looks bad, to be honest. I think both competitively and both for spectators. Like, some people will be like, whoa, that was crazy.
my
Can you
asshole.
believe D-Cup got 7 kills in the last circle and won? Like, yeah, that's nuts. But I think most viewers, I think from an outside looking in standpoint, someone who doesn't know anything about this game sees a tournament for it running. I think most of the game will make sense to them. Most of the game will make sense to them, but the last circle, they'll probably be like, why is Wraith running around in the fucking circle? And then throwing your portal. What does all this mean? I don't think that's good. B. Borton, thanks for the follow. I think the way, I don't know if it's possible, because I've heard rumors of reasons why it might not be, but I think one way to have end circles be a little bit more intuitive to this game is make them a lot bigger and then make them move at the same time. Similar to how Fortnite does it. Again, I don't know if that's possible, because I've heard rumors on why it's not. I don't know if they're true or not. That's why I'm calling them rumors. Red, thanks for the follow. But this game has great fucking movement. Why not explore that through circles that move, you know? Imagine, like, a circle, like, say the circle's ending train yard, and it's the last circle, say it's like this big, maybe, which is pretty big in the grand scheme of the game, and it also moves. I think that'd be far more interesting than a fucking nade clusterfuck, Wraith portal clusterfuck, you know? That's just me, though. I think that's one big improvement. I think the endgame circles need to go with the way they are. If they can't make that happen, I think they need to do something different than what they have now, because it's just, I don't think it works. And honestly, Respawn is pretty fucking inventive. I think they could probably come up with something, a pretty cool, unique idea. Reddit goes crazy when devs do something the pros say. That's because Reddit hates the fucking pros, and I don't understand why. I actually just don't get it. I fucking hate Reddit. I'm gonna be honest. I know, like, most of the time, like, not entirely, like, toxic or anything, but I hate Reddit. Except for the animal subreddits. The animal subreddits are cute. But Reddit, like, gaming subreddits suck. They absolutely are terrible. They're terrible for the game. Any game that they criticize. It just sucks. It's a hive mind mentality, which is actually goes against the exact opposite of what Reddit is supposed to be. Reddit is supposed to be a place where people can debate and talk about things. Like, the upvote system, the way it's supposed to be used is, if it's pertinent to the discussion, you upvote it. If it's complete trash and doesn't make any sense and someone's just memeing or shitposting, You downvote it. But nobody uses it like that. Everyone uses it as, hey, I agree with you, I'm gonna upvote you. Or, hey, you're the first comment, so you're likely to get upvoted because I'm too lazy to type something out myself. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. And it sucks. I think Reddit sucks. I think it drives a lot of video games in the wrong direction. It killed, if anyone ever played the game, fuck, what was it? The Culling was one of the first BRs, and Reddit killed that game. Period. I think Reddit probably also killed Realm, but I don't know, I fucking did not go on Realm subreddit, that place is terrible. How to be pro like you? Grind, my man. Just grind, get your name out, make sure people know who you are. No, exactly. Reddit is literally like, haha, I'm gonna upvote this clip of Caustic just fucking trapping a whole team in a barrel. I haven't seen this 3 million times, or I mean in a room. I haven't seen this 3 million times, but I still laugh at it every time I do. Like, yeah, it's funny. Every single, like, big pro thing I've seen on Reddit, I've seen it get fucking treated harshly. I remember Huskers, some of you might know this. I remember Huskers from Rogue had an insane clip of him longbowing like all of Skulltown. And it was met negatively on Reddit. On Twitter, everyone was like, damn, you're fucking nuts, right? Obviously, it's his fan base, but still. Everyone was like, damn, you're fucking insane. That was a nuts clip, one of the best longbow clips you'll ever see. Most of Reddit, you know what they said? Wow, you're that asshole that drops solo in Skulltown away from your team? Like, shut the fuck up, man. It's a fucking pub game, man. If you don't like it, get the hell out and go queue the next game if you're mad about it. Here's what's another one. Oh, the very first season of Ranked, Sentinels grinded their motherfucking asses off and got world first Apex Predator way before anyone. They were way ahead of everyone. They fucking slaughtered every lobby they were in, and they worked their asses off and they got world first Apex Predator. You know what people said to that? On Reddit? On Reddit, people said, oh wow, these guys are a bunch of no-lifes. Oh, they never go outside, haha, losers. It's just like, dude, like, a lot of them said get a job. That was a good one. Like, haha, as if they're not getting paid a shit ton of money to play Apex.
Made the right choice this time. Come on, we got work to do.
Crazy. It's just crazy to me, man. Kitty in the window, yes. Darwin is sitting on the windowsill. But yeah, it's just like, dude, I hate Reddit. I hate gaming subreddits. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that this turned into such a rant. The last like 10-15 minutes. But yeah, Reddit's such a terrible... Gaming subreddits are fucking awful, man. They're so bad. They literally... I don't know why, but they hate pros. In any game, not just Apex. In any game. I talked about it earlier, but I'm sorry to repeat it again. But if you are just joining, I did say it. One thing, because somebody mentioned something about EA being cheap and not wanting to invest in the game. And that's just far from the truth. The reason you don't see this game turn out as much content or as frequent updates is, and Apex devs actually literally addressed this exact thing, because there was an article a couple months after Apex came out that revealed that Epic worked their devs 80 hours a week. Imagine whatever job you are doing right now and you had to do it 80 hours a week. Imagine. Epic devs worked 80 hours a week to deliver all the content Fortnite has, which... Again, Fortnite is awesome for how much content they churn out, but I think it's toxic. It sets a toxic like baseline for every other developer out there. Every other developer is expected to meet that same expectation that Fortnite has, and that sucks for devs. I feel bad for game devs because it sets a really, really unrealistic expectation, man. And once that information went public, Apex literally on their website released a dev blog saying they are working on more content. It is coming, but they straight up said we are not going to work our devs like other companies, and they were directly referencing EA or not EA, Epic Games, directly referencing it, because that's just nobody should be forced to work 80 hours a week, man. Nobody, absolutely nobody. It's bullshit.
Let's get the job.